Hey, how's it going? This is Geometry Assignment 7. Specifically, this is a worksheet on the Pythagorean theorem. This is going to talk about perimeter of shapes and how to find the missing perimeter when the shape is a specific type of triangle, a right angle triangle. Check it out. Let's math it up, follow along, have some fun. Okay, so we're starting off with a bit of a warm-up. It's going to be basically just doing some quadrilateral type shapes, calculating the perimeter. It's pretty straightforward. So if you look at the first shape, it is a parallelogram. That means that these two sides are even and these two sides are even. So we have two sides with the length of 4 and two sides with the length of 3. It would be length times 2 plus width times 2, or 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. So this is going to be 4. This is going to be 3. It would be 8 plus 6. This is going to be 16. Sorry, 8 plus 6 is going to be 14. Perimeter will equal 14 feet. For our next shape, it is a rectangle. The rectangle is going to be equal on this side and this side. It'll be 9 here. It'll be equal on top and bottom. It'll be 3 here. It'll be 9 plus 9 plus 3 plus 3. 18 plus 6. Our perimeter will be 24 miles is our unit of measurement on this particular shape. Next shape. We have a trapezoid, and this one is a pretty equal trapezoid. It has the equal side lengths, and there's some symmetry here, and the two top and bottom lengths are different, of course. That's what makes it a trapezoid. So we're going to have 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6. So 12 for the two side lengths, 12 for the two side lengths, and then 7 for the top and bottom. It's going to be 19. The perimeter will be equal to 19 kilometers. Okay, 1D. This is a triangle, and it is a scalene triangle. There's no sides or angles that are equivalent to one another, and we just simply add up the 3 side lengths. It's 3 plus 5 plus 4. So it's going to be, perimeter will be 12 inches. And that is our answer. Let's circle, square my answer. All right, this next one is a isosceles triangle. And that means it has 2 angles that are the same and 2 side lengths that are the same. So side lengths are 5 inches apiece, and the bottom, the base, is 4 inches. So this is going to be 14. Perimeter will equal 14 inches total. The last one is a wonderful rectangular shape. We have 3 and 3 and 5 and 5. So this is going to be a perimeter of 16 meters. All right, moving to our Pythagorean theorem. So in a right angle triangle, there is a beautiful ratio of the square of side A plus the square of side B is going to be equal to the square of side C. This will be the biggest side, the hypotenuse. It asks us to find the hypotenuse of each of the right triangles. So we're going to go through this. We're going to write out our formula. We're going to fill in our numbers. We're going to multiply them and then find the square root step by step by step. So step 1, a squared plus b squared will be equal to c squared. Let's call a squared 6 squared plus 8 squared is equal to c squared. So 36 plus 64 is equal to c squared. So this is going to be 100 is equal to c squared. We can find the square root of, and if you do it to one side, you want to do the other. So the square root of 100 will be 10, and 10 will be equal to the square root of c squared. So the side length c will be 10 units. We're not given the units here, it's just 10 units. Good start. It's a nice right whole number integer right angle triangle. Let's go to B. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Just going to rewrite that square. So 3 squared is equal to, plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. So this is going to be 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared. 25 is equal to C squared. We can do the square root of both of these numbers. The square root in the 25 is going to be 5, and on the opposite sides of our equation, it's going to be, C. So C, which is our hypotenuse, will be a length of 5. Okay, this next one. This is going to be, again, a squared plus b squared will be equal to c squared. 11 squared plus 13 squared will be equal to c squared. 11 squared is 121 plus 13 squared, which is 169, is equal to c squared. Now, that's going to equal 290. 290 is equal to c, that's a 6, is equal to c squared. And when you find the square root of that, you're going to be given 17 and change. So what we want to do, I think it's going to be like 17.034 or something. So what we want to do is we want to round down to the nearest tenth. And if it's 17.03, we're going to round down simply to 17 is equal to C. Now again, this is rounding to the nearest tenth, which in this case is exactly 17. So C is equal to 17. All right. As we move forward, these are going to get more complicated with decimals. So let's see here. D, again, let's write out the square of side A plus the square of side B will equal to the square of side C. So let's go 12 squared plus 9 squared is equal to C squared. 144 plus 81 is equal to C squared. 100, this is 225 is equal to C squared. 225 is equal to C. What is that? 16, 15? 50. All right, well, let's go over to 15. So 225, and then we're going to use this number here, this square root. This is my square root, 2x to the square root to the power of 2. So square root, this is our cube root, and this is a root that we get to choose, something root. It could be to 10th root. Anyway, square root 15. It was 15, okay. No, it's okay. 225 square root is square root is 15 is equal to c. So c is equal to 15. All right, so now they get a little bit more complicated. I'm going to skip a little bit and just rely more on my calculator moving forward here in the nature of time. So we'll go a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. 2.6 squared plus 3.5 squared is equal to c squared. So to do this, I'm going to simply going to go clear. What was it? 2.5, 3.5, 2.6. 2.5. 2.6, 3.5. I need to remember those two numbers. 2635. Okay. 2.6 squared plus 3.5 squared equals 19.01. So 19.01 is equal to c squared. We can do square root on both of those, and we're going to be given, let's do square root, 4.36. That will round up to 4.4. 4.4 is equal to c, or c equals 4.4. That is our answer for 2E. Let's move on to 2. Let's go on to 2F. 2F. All right. So the a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. A squared is 6.5 squared plus 6.9 squared is equal to c squared. 6569. 6.5 squared plus 6.9 squared equals 89.86. 89.86 is equal to c squared. Now, again, the square root of this will be equal to c squared, or c, right? Because this 89.86 is c squared. So in our formula, we'll square root both sides, and in this case, we get square root 9.479. That's going to be 9.5 is equal to c, or c is equal to 9.5. That is our answer. Okay, let's move on to 3. So it says, so now we're given the hypotenuse, and we're giving one of the legs. We could call that b squared. Let's call it b squared. So over here, we're going to go a squared is equal to c squared divided by b squared. So we're going to go a squared is equal to c squared divided by b squared. So a squared is going to equal 5 squared divided by 4 squared. So let's put that into our calculators. 5 squared divided by 4 squared is equal to 1.5625. That's not right. Hold on here. Yeah, that's what I thought. That formula is not right. All right. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we need to go 5 squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. A squared plus 4 squared. So that means a squared will be plus 16 will equal 25. So we can do that. Subtract 16. Subtract 16. A squared, this cancels out, a squared is equal to 25, that's 9. And so we can square root both of these numbers, and that gives us a is equal to 3. That's our answer. What a weird formula. Anyway, I will correct that, and I will change this song as well. Kind of a weird one. Okay, moving on. Ignore this up here. That makes no sense. Okay. Let's move on here. Let's start with our formula. A squared equals, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Let's put in our known values. We'll say we know, we don't know a squared, plus we do know b squared, 4 squared, is equal to c squared, which is 6 squared. So this is going to be a squared is equal to 6 plus 16 is equal to 36. Yeah, and then it goes minus 16 from this side, minus 16 from this side. On this side, that cancels out, turns to 0. On the opposite side, it moves down to 20. So a squared is equal to 20. Let's do a square root of 20 to get it to a is equal to the square root of 20. What is this? It's 4.5? 20 square root 4.47. We'll round that up, 4.5. 4.5. It's 4.47 something. A is equal to 4.5. Neat. All right. A squared is equal to, not equals to, A squared plus, sorry. Just gonna choose a new playlist here. No. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Let's put our known values in there. Let's say we don't know A squared, but we do know B squared, which is 2 squared, and we do know C squared, which is 3 squared. So A squared plus 4 is going to equal 9. We can subtract not 7, but 4 from both sides, and that leaves us with A squared is equal to 5. And what is the square root of 5? 2.5? That? 5 square root 2.236, so 2.2. Square root, we're going to round this to 2.2. A is equal to 2.2. Three. It's just going to get in the way. Let's go 3D. All right. 4, 3. All right, well, let's write it out. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. We don't know A squared. We do know B squared, and we know C squared. We do A. When we square them, we get A squared, we get 9, and we get 16. So A squared, we can isolate A by subtracting 9 from both sides. On this side, it cancels out, leaving us with just with A squared. On this side, we get 7. A squared is 7, so we need to, the square root of A squared is going to be the square root of 7. 7, what is the square root of 7? 2.64, rounding down to 2.6. 2.6 is, A is equal to 2.6. What is with the... What is with the tunes here? Just give me something that's like... doesn't bother me. Maybe it's just the night. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Question 3E. 3E. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Let's say A, we do not know, because it's this one. Let's say this is A here. But B, we do know it is going to be 9.7, and C is 11.5. So there's this relationship, and we can do that. A squared, we still don't know, but we're going to add 9.7 squared. 9.7 squared, 94.09. 94.09 is equal to 11.5 squared. 11.5 squared, 132.25, 132.25 5. So we can subtract 94.09 on this side to cancel out. We have to do the same thing to the other side. 94.09, 132, 94.09. Subtract 94.09 equals 38.16. A squared will be equal to 38.16. Oh, 38.16, and the square root will be 6.17, which will round up to 6.2. A is equal to 6.2. All right. F. 3F. Let's go. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. That means we go A squared, we don't know, plus 6.7 squared is equal to 9.8 squared. So we will do that on the calculator because that's not something I want to do in my head or on paper. All right, 6.7 squared. I didn't even look at that. 6.7, 44.89. 44.89 is equal A squared. All right, 9.8 squared. 9.8 squared. It's got to be close to 100. 96.04. 96.04. 4489. Subtract 44.89 equals 51.15. 51.85. So what I did there was subtract 44.89 from both sides. On this side, it gets rid of it, isolating my A squared variable. On this side, 44.89, it leaves us with the square of side A. A squared is equal to 51, so I can do the square root of these numbers to find a side length A. Square root 7.15, 7.2. A will be equal to 7.2. F 7.2. E 6.23. F 3E. Yeah, okay. Okay. Number 4. This one is simply asking you to plug these numbers into the calculator and just to say if they're a right angle triangle. If they are, draw that right angle in the right corner and write yes or no. So I know 3, 4, 5 is. I know it is. It's one of those special ones. So this is, and we can prove it by going 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. And 25 is equal to 25. Yeah, so you can see it there. Right? You can also just check on your calculator by putting these numbers into your calculator. But it will say YES, yes, check. Now, 689. 689. Okay, so is 8 squared plus 6 squared equal to 9 squared. No, I don't know. So that's 64 plus 36 equals to 81. No, because that's going to be 100 is not equal to 81. So this is wrong. No. Not a right angle triangle. But we just did this one. No, we did. Yes, we did. 6, 8, 9. No, this one is a right angle. 6, 8, 10 will be. So 6 squared plus 8 squared will equal 10 squared. That's a true statement. So this is going to be 36 plus 64 is equal to 100. And that's true. That's 100 is equal to 100. So YES check mark. This is yes, it is a right angle triangle. 5, 12, 13. I feel like this one is as well. So 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to 13 squared. So it's 144 plus 25 equals 169. And that is in fact 169 is equal to 169. So yes, this is a right angle triangle. Now, I don't know here. I'm going to use my calculator. 6 squared plus 9.1 squared equals 10.9 squared. Is that true? 6.6 squared, 9.1 squared. 6 squared plus 9.1 squared equals 118.81. 118.81 equals 10.9 squared. 10.9 squared. It is equal 118.81. Yes. That's how we can check. All right. And this last one. Oh, it's like the same one. 6 and 9.1, 9.6. No, this one's going to be wrong. No. So it's going to be 9.1 squared plus 6 squared is equal to 9.6 squared. 118.81 is equal to, what is 9.6 squared? 9.6 squared is, whoa, 9.6 squared, 92.16. 92.16 ain't wrong. No. That's it. That's all. If I did something wrong, let me know. If you have a better way, let me know. If there's anything you want to ask or say, leave a comment, send a like. Otherwise, keep mathing it up. Have a good one.